We're doing it. We're live.
Oh, it's live.
On.
Live.
It's
Live. Live. Live from Facebook. It's Hazel Grace.
Hey friends, this is Dr. Hazel Grace Yates, and I'm with Reid Mihalko. I did it right.
You did it great.
So you and I were just going to be like, all right, so what are we going to do in the Facebook Live? And you're like, let's just push the button and just go.
Yeah,
because I wanted to tell you. Yeah, because I wanted to tell you about how this retreat is going. Do you remember I called you like 4 weeks ago? I was like, I have this idea for this thing.
Yeah.
I think I can do it. And you're like, fuck yeah, do it. And here it is. Like 4 weeks later, it's happening. And there's 38 facilitators from around the world who are teaching for 3 days these transformative, experiential, interactive, healing, empowering workshops in this time of pandemic.
Yep. You did it. You and all the people are coming together.
Yes.
To nerd out.
Nerd out. Yes. And I also want to name the producers, Tangerine,
please.
Krista Reed and Josie Nixon, and Sophie Krupp. The four of us have really been the ones to like really make it happen. And you said yes.
I did. It's hard to say no to you, and yeah, I'm really excited. Like I'm excited to connect with people and help, and I'm flattered that you would invite me. So thanks. Like, thank you. Like, this is as weird as these times are, and as adaptive as people are becoming. Like, I think these spaces are needed. These opportunities are needed. People need this.
Yeah, they do. They do. So for those of you who don't know Reid, Reid is an extraordinary, amazing human being who also happens to be a sex and relationship educator and a super sex geek, as evidenced by the shirt.
Clearly labeled.
You're like a ringleader for the sex geeks around the country, around the world.
I mean, thanks. I'm glad that it seems like that. I mean, I didn't come up with the term. Somebody registered sexgeek.com many years ago. There's another amazing blogger who has a blog, but Sex Geek's the term I identify with, and it works for a lot of people.
Yeah. Cool. So tell us, Reid, why does this work in general? Why do you say it's so important, and why do you dedicate your life to it?
Well, the reason I dedicate my life to it is I'm trying to help people not go through what my mom and dad went through around like not being able to talk about stuff and really just emotionally ruining each other around communication. And so a lot of my work focuses on learning how to say what you're not saying and talk about the elephant that is in the room, whatever that is. Other skill sets are like, how do you figure out what the elephant is in the room for you in love and life? And then there's a whole lot that I do around just helping people be more self-expressed in their relationships and then their sexuality. So that's about like shame and learning how to navigate that. It's about sexual self-confidence and skill sets and just nerding out and making sex fun and playful and hot and curious again. And the thing that you all asked me to teach was energetic sex for pragmatists, which is my nerdy, fun way of helping people learn how to play with sexual energy and kind of understand esoteric sexuality practices and think about Tantra in a pragmatist way if you don't speak woo-woo. And I speak woo-woo fluently, and I like my peer-reviewed double-blind research. And so like I kind of go both ways. Hopefully my sense of humor and how I talk about things helps people wrap their heads around stuff that they might not have ever experienced before.
Got it. And so what is it that people walk away with at the end of this particular workshop that you're going to be leading?
The biggest piece is being able to understand what resonance play, the way that I teach energetic sex, it's a particular kind of idea. It's about resonance play. So learning the idea of resonance play and how to tap into that so that you can play with or explore energy and sensual energy with other folks, and having a vocabulary that includes both woo-woo and science, so that you can be bilingual in a way where you can invite people to play with you that doesn't shut them down. Because if I'm super woo-woo and I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, hey, like, you know, can you open up your heart chakra and like fuck me with your heart chakra? Like, people who don't believe in heart chakras are gonna be like, I don't know how to do that. Like, that's not even real. Whereas for my woo-woo friends, when somebody's like, hey, like, can we just drop the crystals and the chanting and the fucking incense and can we just fuck? Like, they feel shut down. So when you can see that what you're asking on both ends of the spectrum are actually very similar and how they overlap, so that then we can just fuck and I can bring the heart chakra, then it's like, oh, wait a minute, like there's a way for us to meet and play with this whole world of eroticism and you know, and energy. Because for me as a pragmatist, I don't need to believe in something to play with it. Like, I don't know how the internet works, and yet here we are Zooming and on Facebook Live. Like, I don't even, I don't have to believe in the internet to access this. And this is more for my pragmatists. Like, we know placebo effect is real and measurable. So do you really fucking care whether chakras are real or not if your partner is having an amazing time and you are having fun? And I'll teach a little bit about where some of the science is going that indicates that there might be ways to measure things that we couldn't measure before. So for my sciencey folks, there's some really interesting things going on about Kundalini and why even the symbol for Kundalini is a sleeping serpent in your coccyx. Like, we're starting to have some indications as to what this might mean on a more sciencey scale, which for my woo-woo folk, like, that just means we have better ways. You have better ways to invite your stubborn, non-woo-woo-y friends to come play with us.
I haven't looked at this schedule, but right now I'm noticing I'm like, I really hope I'm available to be able to come to your workshop. Yeah. And what I think I really get about you and what I adore and appreciate about you, Reid, among many things, is I think it's coming from your own desire of you wanting to be able to connect and love and play with as many people as possible and not have anything get in the way, especially when we're all seeking ultimately the same thing, which is to feel loved or appreciated, respected, and enjoy and in pleasure together, and whatever pathways we consensually choose together.
Yeah. If you think about play and sensuality like music, if you've never heard of jazz and you're a classical musician, and then somebody's like, come play jazz with me, and you're like, jazz doesn't exist, only classical exists, rather than like, just be like, well, show me what jazz is. Like, maybe I can play jazz with you. And then maybe you come up with some classical jazz fusion because you were both open and allowing each other to be creative and to collaborate. Like, but in sex, we don't approach it that way, especially when people have other ways of looking at things. So thanks. Like, yeah, because it is about like, how do we make things more fun? How do we be more curious? How do we not shut each other down? And, you know, especially for me, speaking as an American, English and American sexuality, we have horrible traditions to talk about, you know, like nuanced, esoteric things. like there's so much more that we could all be playing with. There's so many more crayons in the crayon box of sex. And most of us got like 4 crayons and one of them is broken in half anyway.
What is it? The 64 pack with the sharpener on the back with the sparkly ones inside?
Exactly. I want all the crayons. Show me all the crayons.
And I really like the sharpener too.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
It's useful.
I like it.
Super useful.
It's very useful. Awesome. Yeah.
What are you excited about for the festival? What are you teaching? Because my people are watching too. What are you going to be doing?
Yeah. I'm teaching handmade healing. And it's this amazing opportunity for people to, especially since so many folks are hanging out by themselves during this time, to actually give you some very practical, simple exercises to support your own healing. So I'm a sexological bodywork practitioner, and so oftentimes I'm using my hands working with people with sound and breath on them to release tension, trauma, pain, open up to more pleasure. And what I'm really liking about doing virtual sessions right now with clients is I'm teaching them how to do this with themselves, on themselves, and doing consent practices with their own body. And what I really like about that is that people can do this on their own. You don't need a practitioner. So if you come to my class and you learn some of these exercises, that you can do this on your own without a practitioner, and you can release tension, you can release trauma, you can open up to more pleasure. And that's the other thing too, is like, I'm really, because I'm doing virtual sessions now, which I wouldn't have done before, I'm creating these new concepts around giving people practicing embodied consent with themselves, which is actually, like, now that I'm realizing it, is like, that's an important first step before doing embodied consent practices with another human. So it's like, I'm seeing the gift it is for me so far of the COVID situation, where these new practices are emerging that I think are going to enhance what I'm already doing.
Yeah, it's really powerful and catalyzing how this big shift is allowing all of us to like recalibrate things that we're doing and the aha moments that are coming out of it. So thank you for being curious and adaptive and innovative, so that other people get to benefit from it too. I appreciate that.
Thanks. Yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun. The other thing, Reid, that I want to tell you is, and I get a little emotional thinking about this, some of my best colleagues and my best friends and these leaders and teachers and guides and healers from around the world have said yes to this thing. And so I basically designed the thing that I want to go to and the people that I love the most, who are all getting to show up together in this whole weekend thing that I don't think on my own could have ever created, flying in 38 people from all over the world for this thing. So it's like, it's like a festival, a love fest for me with the people that are important in my life, and like organizing them in a way that like really is going to gift the people who show up to this retreat.
Yeah, I'm a huge proponent of that, and congratulations and thank you for being courageous for yourself. Like, it's the idea of like throw the birthday party that you want to have. Like, throw the birthday party for yourself. Throw the one that you want to have, not the one you think your friends want. Like, and then like, so be expressed, like create the virtual intimacy retreat that you want. And then the fun part is like to see who comes to that, see who's drawn to that. And that's the way that I have found some of my closest and dearest, friends and lovers and peers and colleagues, like, is go live the life that makes you happiest, and then see who's attracted to that. And like always be tinkering and get better at things, right? Because I mean, as an ex-New Yorker, there is somebody who's like, I'm going to live the life that makes me happiest. And then the thing they hadn't considered is, oh, what if I'm a complete asshole? You know, because there are people out there just being complete assholes, and that's not helping anybody. So it's like, how do you be the best person that you can be and leave the campsite better than you found it, and authentically and powerfully be you, and then see who you attract to that. And so I just wanted, that's my long-winded way of acknowledging you with all my excitement for being the allspark for a thing that we all get to participate and contribute to. And then we get to meet all these amazing, like-minded, friendly faces and play with each other digitally and virtually at a time when we're like starving for connection. And so thanks for being, for making that all happen, for calling that in. And for everybody else that's helping you too, because it's not a one-person job.
No, it's not. And, you know, the other thing that I want to say that I feel really excited about as well is that we understand that financially this time is a strain on a lot of people. And so we've said that the weekend is $100. We have a sliding scale from 50 to 200 for those who can contribute more or who can't contribute 100. And we're not turning anyone away. And so even if you can afford $10 or $20, great. Or we also have volunteer opportunities for those who want to contribute in that way. So I feel really excited about no one gets turned away for this experience, because I get the medicine that it is for people, and we want people to have access to it.
Thank you for putting the work and the extra efforts into building all that stuff out so that it's easy for people to access. Because as somebody who runs events online and offline, I know that is extra work, and it allows something extra special to happen. Yeah,
cool. Thank you. And one last thing is, you and me and Tangerine on Saturday night are throwing a virtual play party for all the participants for the weekend.
Yes. Everyone watching right now, and the friends that you will tell about this, if you have not yet been to a virtual orgy, now is the best time to do it. It is a hoot. You have not lived until you've been to an orgy on your computer, everyone. You can leave, and you can leave early. I think you should all just check it out, because then after next weekend, when somebody says, hey, what did you do this weekend? You can say, I did something I never thought I'd do. And you can impress people with how bold and courageous and adventuresome you are. And I will say that one of my highlights for I'm gonna be right back. Hang on. I'm right here.
Okay.
Right here.
I'll do instrumental dancing.
Get this, ladies and gentlemen, a big roll of saran wrap or a tiny roll of saran wrap. You're going to want to put it on your computer keyboard, and you're going to want to put one on your phone if you need to, because just trust me. And I'll be giving a little tutorial on how to orgy-proof your electronics. Because that's important. Because your keyboard does not need a bunch of lube on it. Important safety tip.
Lube is great, except for electronics.
Yep.
Great. So I love you a lot.
I love you too.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Anything else you want to say at the end?
No, just thanks everybody. Okay. Please share these videos. Tell people about the intimacy retreat. Hazel Grace, where can my fans and friends find you? What's a good website for you?
HazelGraceYates.com, and we'll put the link in the Facebook Live.
Cool. And for people who are looking for me on social media and everywhere, it's Reid, R-E-I-D, About Sex. So readaboutsex.com and at Reid About Sex everywhere else.
Beautiful. Right. And we can put that link in there too. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.